Welcome in. I'm Rachel Baribeau. I'm your college football playoff insider and influencer, and I'm so excited to be with you once again to talk about the rankings as we march towards the playoff. And momentarily, we will be joined by Rob Mullens, my friend Rob Mullens, the chairperson of the committee, as he tells us what went into the rankings this week as we look towards rivalry week. And then we look towards conference championship week. How does the committee look at those things? I think I know the answer, but my goal as your college football playoff influencer is to educate you on that. So literally you can go back to your office, to your classroom, to your friend group, to your tailgate, to your message boards and say, hey, this is actually really how this happens. And that's my goal for you as the college football playoff insider, is to really give you the most knowledge, the most understanding of how this process works. And listen, very, very excited of what's happening here in the fifth year of this college football playoff, heading out west to California. And it's surely looking to be a great matchup. And now we have Rob Mullens here. Hello, Rob. How are you?
I'm doing great, Rachel. How are you tonight?
I am doing fabulous. You know, one of the things that I just said to our viewers and our listeners is my goal is to, and I know what yours is too, is to really educate the everyday college football fan about what the process looks like. So I kind of want to start backwards, and I want to ask you, if there's a misconception out there, if there are things that maybe you thought before you got involved in this process, right? Things that you would like to educate people on. What is the thing that you would like people to know the most about this process?
I think the thing that is hard to articulate or get across is, you know, how much preparation goes into each and every week and how thorough the committee is and how deep a dive we take on every single ranking 1 through 25. We fully understand the importance of college football to college athletics. We understand what these rankings mean. It's an incredible honor to serve. And every one of the 13 members takes it very seriously. And the amount of work that goes into that is hard to articulate, but everyone loves the role. Everyone takes it seriously, and they put considerable time and energy into it.
Rob, are the conversations any different when it comes to rivalry week?
Not necessarily. I mean, we're really looking at the body of work. You know, rivalry week can have some, you know, create some crazy outcomes, and that's what we're focused on. We're focused on results.
All right, Rob, a lot of America thinks that there is a clear-cut line between, say, an Alabama, a Clemson, a Notre Dame, and then maybe even Michigan. What would you say to that as the committee chair?
Well, obviously you have 3 undefeated teams there, so that may be a piece of that. But what I would say is you've got a lot of good football teams there, and we spend considerable time taking a deep dive on them. And as you look at it, you know, the rankings have been consistent that the committee sees Alabama 1, Clemson 2, Notre Dame 3 with the head-to-head win over Michigan.
All right, Notre Dame, and they don't have a conference game. That's well known as an independent. This in the past has been severely misunderstood. Talk to me about Notre Dame and the conversation surrounding them.
Well, obviously, we look at the resume, you know, and in this process, we line up resumes. Conferences aren't a part of the conversation. It really is about a team and their results over their opponents. Conference conversation never comes into this. So, you know, through 12 weeks, we're looking at Notre Dame's 11 games versus everyone else's 11 games.
Rob, what was the conversation surrounding Ohio State with their scare against Maryland?
There was a lot of conversation around Ohio State and UCF. And, you know, the conversation was that, you know, Ohio State still strong on offense, but, you know, defense is wavering a little bit, and the offense has been able to pull them through. But when you look at them, say, as compared to a UCF, the committee felt that while UCF may not be as deep and talented, right now they're playing more as a complete team.
You just mentioned UCF, and every single week in this role, Rob, I get so many questions about UCF. I think from the outside and doing this role that you guys have paid considerable respect to this program and moving them up. humor me and the fans and tell us about the conversations that you had, the deep dive on UCF.
Well, this week, obviously, they had an impressive win on a big stage against what was a ranked Cincinnati team. So impressive win. And we saw improvement in their defense. One of the things that we've talked about the last couple of weeks, Rachel, when it comes to UCF is, Mackenzie Milton's a great quarterback, incredible skill players on the offense, ability to put up points. But, the strength of schedule and their defense were the question marks. And you saw the defense step up, have a good game against Cincinnati, and again, find another way to win.
What team did the committee spend the most time on this week in discussion?
Well, we spend considerable time on every team. And even though, the rankings may not change a lot from week to week in certain ranges, we still spend considerable time discussing each and every team. Again, I think going back to your original question is, we have a job here, and our job is to come in fully prepared, know everything we can about every team, and make sure that we're thorough in evaluating each and every one, because we do start with a clean sheet. And so we spend a considerable amount of time on every team.
It hasn't been a lot of chaos, more chalk this year. Has that made your job and the committee's job easier?
Not necessarily. Again, we're watching the games, we're studying the data. So, we have a very disciplined process, and we're sticking with that disciplined process, even though, there, probably haven't been as many upsets as people have seen in the past. And even though there's less movement in the top 10, there's still been plenty of movement in 11 through 25, which is equally important to us.
And then lastly, Rob, have the meetings gotten longer as the weeks have gone on, or have you been able to clear things up in a quicker manner?
No, they've been about the same. We have a very disciplined process. We're very consistent. In year 5 now, there's a bit of a rhythm to it. So it's pretty consistent in the length of the meetings.
Rob, thank you again for spending time with me today. One of the greatest joys in having this role is to really arm every single college football fan out there with knowledge, so they can go back to whatever group that they're in and say, no, this is how it works. No, that's not how it works, but this is how it works. This is what they consider. This is what they talk about. So thank you, my friend, for doing that with me each and every week.
Love joining you. I appreciate you giving all the fans, all the passionate fans, an incredible insight into the inside of how this all works. That's the beauty of college football, right? There's this incredible passion each and every week.
Hey, listen, I'll say this signing off to you, Rob. There was a time I started doing sports talk radio many years ago, and there was a time that I didn't know if there would ever even be a playoff, right? And now we have it. Now we're in the 5th year. And sometimes as college football fans, I think we just got to go rejoice, rejoice. We actually have 13 people such as yourself of high moral character that are in that room that are looking at this in a fair and balanced manner. And man, that's so awesome.
Yeah, it's been a huge success. And as I said, it's an incredible privilege for all 13 of us to have the opportunity to come here every single week, take a deep dive, and get these teams ranked 1 through 25. And we love every minute of it.
For Rob Mullens, I'm Rachel Baribeau, your college football playoff insider. We'll be back here next week to do the same thing. Make sure you visit us on our Facebook page, our Instagram page, our Twitter page. And as a fan, tell us what you want to know. I am your conduit to Rob Mullens, to the committee. You have a direct conduit. Have a wonderful week and enjoy the football.